Hello everyone, it's Cameron again and welcome to another video. Today we're going to do an album review for the first time in a while since I've done an album review. Just because wasn't really sure what albums to do a review of, and I did have some ideas down but I never got around to kind of doing this. So today I'm going to do an album review, and today I'm going to review one of my all-time favourite albums from, of course, Tom Petty, and that is the album Long After Dark. So in this video we're going to go over the album's background, show you my copies of the album, go over each track individually, and just rate the album as a whole, a marking out of 10. So Long After Dark was the band's, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' fifth album, released on the 2nd of November in 1982 on Backstreet MCA Records, which had been their label since Damn the Torpedoes in 1979. And Tom and the Heartbreakers as well just come off two very successful albums with Damn the Torpedoes and Hard Promises, both of whom were produced by Jimmy Iovine, and this was their third record that they would produce with Jimmy. But there was a bit of production differences and kind of creative differences between Tom and Jimmy. Jimmy kind of felt that Hard Promises was kind of a bit too fast and kind of wanted them to be at their kind of pop rock stance, but Tom had written a few kind of acoustic style songs during the recording of this album, and Jimmy Iovine didn't really agree with them. He felt they were too country and too acoustic and they didn't fit the album. And there was even major problems as well with drummer Stan Lynch, who again during the Damn Torpedo sessions had been fired and rehired, and then again in Long After Dark he was fired and then rehired again. And Tom has said in interviews that I think that Jimmy was spending more time on the phone and less time in the studio with us, because Jimmy was also producing a Bob Seger album at the same time, according to Mike Campbell's book Heartbreaker. And also the band had a personnel change. Bass player Ron Blair had left at the end of the Hard Promises tour in 1981. Ron was kind of tired of the rock and roll lifestyle and just kind of found it all stressful and a bit difficult, so he left the band and pretty much left the music industry in 1982, and it wouldn't be until 2002 when he rejoined the band. So he was replaced by a guy called Howie Epstein, who Tom kind of stole off of Del Shannon, who Tom Petty was producing at the time, who was a rock and roller from the 50s and 60s, sorry, from the 60s, who Tom had admired, and that was where Howie Epstein came from. The album, I think, took about a year to make, between 1981 and into 1982, and it came out in November of that year. And again, much like the previous two, this was pretty successful. Long After Dark reached, just get my facts up, Long After Dark was number 9 in the Billboard US 200 and number 45 in the UK, which that kind of... I want to talk a bit about Tom Petty and his charting positions in the UK, because he never seemed to have a top 10, because the only three he seemed to have were Full Moon Fever in 1989, Into the Great Wide Open in 1991, and Hypnotica in 2014. All his major great albums like Damn the Torpedoes, Hard Promises, and Wildflowers, they never even got in the top 10. Those were absolutely seminal albums, and even this one never got in the top 10 too. And this is a fucking great album. I don't normally say swear on the channel, but this is really is a great album. The critical response, I think, was pretty positive. It's even went gold in America as well, and even got a certification of gold in Canada as well. So yeah. So anyway, we're just going to show you the album. Here's my copy of the vinyl. This is original 1982 pressing. There's the back. The picture of the band there. As I said, this was the first album with Howie Epstein, but we have, Ben Montench on keyboards, Mike Campbell on guitar, Stan Lynch on drums, and of course Howie on bass, and there's Tom. It's a nice back cover picture. This is a really nice copy of the album. Here's the inner sleeve with all the lyrics and all the credits. And again, we're on the Backstreet MCA label, but there's the record. So yeah, really nice to have that one, and it's again, like I say, in really nice condition. So the album was recorded in 4 different studios. They recorded at the Record Plant in Hollywood, Wally Hyder Studios in Hollywood, the Crystal Studios in Hollywood, and Rumble as well. So they recorded this album in 4 different studios. But I think the sound production wise comes off really well, I must say. So I have another vinyl copy of Long After Dark, which is the first copy of the album I owned. This is not in the best of condition. The cover's a little tatty, spine's a little shot, but this is like my plain copy of the album. It's completely identical to the one I just showed you, so yeah. And Long After Dark is also available on CD as well. This is the original CD version, which came out in like the late 80s. There's the back. And there's the CD. And with this one, there's not really much pictures in the booklet. It's just the lyrics. But nice if they reproduced the picture on the back cover. But hey, well. But the ultimate one to get of Tom Petty Long After Dark on CD is this one, the 2024 remix version, which is done by their longtime engineer Ryan Uliate. Sounds absolutely fantastic, and this is the one to get. It's also got a bonus disc of unreleased material as well, and we'll touch upon the unreleased songs as we kind of go on the video here. But anyway, here's the first disc, which is the original album. It's the second CD. And the third CD is a Blu-ray audio disc, so that you can play this in your like standard Blu-ray player. I think this has become a recent thing that they're starting to do with the music world. A lot of these like releases are come with Blu-ray audio CDs, so I think this is something fairly recent that they're doing. But here's the booklet of that. Get all sorts of pictures, lyrics. Even talks about the unreleased songs as well. It's got the lyrics for those. And I'll explain the unreleased material once I kind of gone over the album as well. Once I've finished the kind of the main album. Okay, so we're going to start the album off. We're going to go over the album's tracks now. So I really like so we start off with One Story Town. I really like the way it starts with a stand drum, and then it goes to dun 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 dun. I really like the way the guitar starts off. This gets the album off to this to start. Just really, really great way to start the album off. And Tom's writing again is absolutely great with this song, One Story Town. It's like kind of like One Story Town is like basically, you know, I'll just get my notes up. I know I should have probably prepared this, but anyways. So One Story Town kind of explores the theme of limited opportunity and the struggle for individuality in a small, close-knit community. And it can be interpreted both literally, referring to a town with few buildings, or a more figurative meaning, represent a place where everyone knows everyone else and there are few chances for growth or escape. And yeah, definitely really love the lyrics to this, and really like the guitar work and the basically, and even the harmony backup vocals from Harry Epstein. Yeah, really really great song, probably my favourite Tom Petty songs, and great one to start the album off. And Tom Petty in 2005 was asked in this book, Conversation with Tom Petty by Paul Zolo. In 2005 he was asked about if the song was about LA. And Tom's response was, well, no, it could be about LA, or it could be about a small town. I thought it was a kind of play on words where you have a town where you didn't get one above story, or literally, or it just had one story. That's what intrigued me about the title. I don't think it was specifically about LA. So yeah, very interesting little comment there, but yeah, brilliant one, One Story Town. Then we get the big hit single off the album, which was You Got Lucky. This was a co-write between Mike Campbell and Tom Petty. Mike sent Tom like the music, as Mike would do, and Tom basically would get words around it. And they made a drum loop of the track, and they played it to the loop, and that created a certain groove. And Stan Lynch, according to Tom in this book, played his drums with the loop going, and it had a synthesizer start, which, according to Tom Petty in this book, Ben Montench was not happy about. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to use the synthesizer, but he begrudgingly played it, according to Tom, and I'm glad he did, because it was a hit record. And it's one of my favourite Tom Petty songs. Really love the keyboards to it, and the guitar, the do 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 type of thing. And lyrics, again, one of Tom's best lyrics, in my opinion. And and this song was the first ever kind of music promo film. Now, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers had created music videos in the past for Here Comes My Girl, The Refugee, The Waiting, The Woman in Love, things like that. But this was based around a plot, a kind of sci-fi style plot, where they kind of show up on a kind of abandoned desert somewhere in like the west or somewhere like that, and basically there's these television screens, and when Tom basically starts the little boombox player, You Got Lucky comes on, and then at some point in the video it kind of goes through, that shows the video clips of their other videos on television. So that's quite an interesting video, a really good video. It got a lot of playing on MTV. This was like at the height of MTV, which had just started a year earlier. Yeah, one of my favourite songs after dark. And I've also got the single of You Got Lucky. This was my dad's old copy. It's a little bit beat up, but you know. And the B-side of this one was Between Two Worlds. So yeah, one of my favourite Tom Petty ones there. One of the few Tom Petty singles I have, actually, because they're not that easy to come by from time to time. But anyways, but despite it being one of their big hits, Tom Petty had said that it was never a favourite. And he said, not really, it's not that I don't like it. He says it's nice, it was a hit single for us, it's a popular one. It's not about a lot, it's just a kind of love song, but it doesn't have to be a lot to be about good. Tutti Frutti is not about a lot, but I like it. So I think it was good. There are some nice textures in the song, and the guitar and the synthesizer that Benmont's playing. But it was never a favourite of Tom's for some reason. I'm not too sure why that was, but anyways, there's that one. Then we get Deliver Me, which is one of my favourites. So again, like the guitar work, and back to You Are Lucky. Near the end of the song, when Mike does the guitar, at the end it goes. That's probably one of my favourite sort of guitar kind of licks of a song, from any song, whether it's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, from any guitarist. Because Mike Campbell, one of the most underrated guitarists and musicians in my opinion. But anyway, on to the song Deliver Me. Again, I love the way the guitar starts off the down, 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 down. And yeah, I really love Tom's lyrics as well. His vocal delivery is great. Yeah, definitely one of those sort of favourite lesser known Tom Petty songs. And Tom Petty, in the book Conversation with Tom Petty, says, bear with me. And he said he liked that one, and I really love the chorus. So deliver me, baby, take this heart, set it free, take this chance, take this dream. And yeah, that's just one of my favourite ones, Deliver Me, there from the album. Then we get Change of Heart, which is another one of my favourite Tom Petty songs. And Tom Petty said he was inspired to write this song from ELO. He's trying to write an ELO kind of style song. He'd been inspired by a song called Do Ya. And the guitar licks are probably kind of similar. They're down, 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 down. You know, that kind of down, 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 down. Yeah, that's that kind of Change of Heart goes. And the guitar licks are kind of very similar to Do Ya. So that was the kind of idea in Tom's mind, was that he was trying to write a song that was kind of like sort of an ELO song of Do Ya. So that was kind of where he was going. Change of Heart was also a hit single off the album in 1983, but I think it was like a hit in America, but it wasn't really a big hit in Britain, unfortunately again. But great lyrics, I really like the lyrics to the song. One of Tom's great writing, and it was definitely a really great song. And Cashbox said that Petty's chiming guitar and ultra nasal vocal, as well as a steady rock beat and elaborate percussion, allowed the singer to express his feelings. And yeah, again, great lyrics. And the first 100,000 copies of the single were pressed onto red vinyl and came in a stickered transparent sleeve, which I'd love to get my hands on one of those copies of the single, but they might be very rare. So, but I'd love to get my hands on one of those. Then we have Finding Out. I really like the way the drums sort of, and the song starts off, and Again, Tom's lyrics are good in this one, and the backing vocals from Harry Epstein on the chorus as well are really good. I'm coming round, I'm finding out. That's a really, really, I really like that kind of vocal performance between the two voices together. So yeah, definitely one of the great ones. Finding Out. I do like this one quite a bit, but it's maybe not a song I wouldn't play outside of this album. Not to say it's bad. It's a good one. I do quite like it. It's just, yeah, not one that I maybe play outside the album. Well, it's actually one I don't really hear outside the album, to be honest. Yeah, but a good one. Turn over to side 2 with We Stand a Chance. I really like the way the guitar goes. I like the way that kind of song goes, and I really like the lyrics to the song. Tom's vocals, again, are great. A little aside about Finding Out. Finding Out is said to be a favourite of Mike Campbell's, as he says in the book. Now, We Stand a Chance, according to Tom, was first written on the piano, and though strangely he wound up playing the guitar, the only guitar on the track. And Mike Campbell played the keyboard on that track, the organ. According to Tom, Jimmy Iovine was really keen on that song, and they thought it might be the one people focused on, but that turned out to be You Got Lucky, of course. Tom's lyrics, again, are great, and I just really like the song. It's definitely one of my favourite, kind of lesser known Tom Petty songs. So yeah, We Stand a Chance is definitely a highlight on the album for me. Then we get another one of the highlights of Straight Into Darkness, which is one of my favourite Tom Petty songs of all time. I first heard it on the Anthology Through the Years CD compilation when I was quite young, and it's a song I've always loved. I really love the way Benmont starts off the piano, the do 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 do, and then the guitar comes in, and then the band comes in, and I really love Tom's lyrics, basically, you know, telling about a girl that he loved, but then one day the feeling just died. We went straight into darkness, and then near the end of the song, Tom basically says, I don't believe the good times are over, I don't believe the thrill is all gone. Which is basically a lyric that people often talk about, I've discussed talk about in Tom Petty fandom, and that was one that Cameron Crowe, who was a film director making the documentary Heartbreakers Beach Party, brought up with Tom, and they were basically trying to make it more guitar based, but then they turned it over to piano, and that was when it started to show what it was all about. Tom said in interviews that it was basically a song kind of trying to keep your spirits and hopes up when everything else around you is in turmoil, which basically a lot of songs, Tom Petty songs, kind of do for me. They give me kind of hope, and sometimes if everything around me is not going so well. So yeah, Straight Into Darkness is one of my favourites. So it also was a single, but it wasn't released in the UK. It was only ever released, it wasn't released in America, sorry. It was released in this country, in the UK, around about the time of Tom's tour there, because in the Live in Edinburgh LP that just came out, he says before he plays the song, here's another one from our new album, it's also our new single, but he didn't say over here, because he probably didn't know it was just released in the UK, or it wasn't going to be released in America, who knows why. But yeah, one of my favourite Tom Petty songs, Straight Into Darkness, definitely in the top 10 of Tom Petty's songs. And then we get The Same Old You, which was, and The Same Old You is a good song. I quite like this one. This is again one that Mike says that he likes in his book. He said, Long After Dark is my favourite deep track that Tom and I wrote together. Finding Out, Same Old You, and Between Two Worlds. Again, this is a Mike Campbell composition with Tom. Mike again had sent the music to Tom, and Tom kind of basically wrote the lyrics around the music, and he and just trying to see what else it says, and that's it. He says that one is he said a good beat, good groove, and yeah, good song. Quite like the lyrics as well. Basically Tom's saying to this pair, either an old girlfriend, like, I remember you back in '72 with your David Bowie hair and your platform shoes, way down deep it's the same old you, just for a minute you had me confused, baby, way down deep it's the same old you. And one of the lines that's often been looked at in Tom Petty songs, they say, put a Fender amplifier in the back, we could buy a '62 Cadillac, put a Fender amplifier in the back, Drive Straight to the Heart of America, Turn Up the 10, Let That Sucker Blast. And when Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers went on tour for the album, they flew in a private jet that had Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in it, and it says, Let That Sucker Blast. So that's often a line that's been used in the Tom Petty fandom, is Let That Sucker Blast. Which, yeah, great line, I must say. And again, Same Old You is a good song. Then we get another one of my favourites, Between Two Worlds. I really like it starts off with the piano, the dude, and then Mike kind of goes down, 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 and then the band kicks in, and again, Tom's lyrics are great. Definitely, probably one of his best lyrics. Again, to that point, well, best lyrics in general to that point, and it was one that. Tom Petty had said that was a good example of the Heartbreakers as a live group just finding their way. They did that on the old RCA studios on Sunset Boulevard, and according to the inner sleeve, it has Ron Blair on bass. So they might have recorded this one with Ron before Ron left, or maybe Ron just came in to play something, I'm not sure. But anyway, I really love Tom's lyrics. A woman's body is only flesh and bone. How come I can't let go? I'm between two worlds, which is the chorus, great chorus. Really great song. Definitely one of my favourite Tom Petty songs of all time, and it's not one that you hear that often, so yeah. And when the deluxe edition came out, which I'll touch upon in a minute, when they played the alternate version, I really liked the alternate version as well as the basic version as well. So yeah, and same for Straight Into Darkness on here as well, the alternate version of that one as well. So yeah, as I say, we'll touch upon the unreleased stuff near the end, after we've kind of gone over the main album. Then the closing track is A Wasted Life. This is a nice sort of slow keyboard type song. Tom gives a really nice vocal delivery. It's definitely one of my favourite Tom Petty songs, and just a nice way to end the album. And Tom basically said that was another one with a record that turned out to be in a different arrangement than what he came with. But he did a demo at home, and it wasn't working the way he kind of realised it, and it wasn't translating. And then really late in the session, somebody said, let's play it completely different, let's look at it in an entirely different way. And that was and they just played it through once, and that was the way it came out. It's very positive, and it's just a friendship song, according to Tom. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favourite songs. Really love the lyrics. It's basically a friendship type song. Don't have a wasted life, I love you too much. Just a really nice sort of slow closer for the album. So as we kind of go over the main now, I'm going to talk about some of the unreleased songs. So on the deluxe edition, we get him doing the John Sebastian or Everly Brothers song, Stories We Could Tell. An unreleased song called Never Be You, which he and Benmont Tench wrote together. Well, Benmont did the music and then Tom did the lyrics, and that was later given to Rosanne Cash. Turning Point, the original drums version, which was originally on the playback box set in 1995. That was one of the ones that was rejected by Jimmy Iovine. But I think the drums were overdubbed for the playback box set. We get the original version of Stan Lynch on the drums. Then we have Don't Make Me Walk the Line, another great unreleased rocker. Find Out from the French TV, alternate version. Heartbreakers Beach Party, which was a B-side of Change of Heart, but this is the extended version, which was recorded in 1980, according to the booklet in this. Keeping Me Alive, which was an acoustic song that Tom Petty loved over the years, and he felt that this would have made it a better album, but again, like we stated earlier, him and Jimmy Iovine didn't see eye to eye on the song, so it was vetoed. Straight Into Darkness, alternate version, a great alternate take. Ways to Be Wicked, which was a song that he would later give to Lone Justice. Between Two Worlds, French TV version, alternate version, a great alternate version of that. One on One, an unreleased track, and a cover of the Trogs' Wild Thing, which Tom does a great version of. And there was another unreleased song that wasn't on that deluxe set, but it was on the American Treasure set in 2018 called Keep a Little Soul, which is a great song. Kind of wish that made the album, but again, I kind of like the record we got. Although Tom said in 2007 in the Running Down the Dream documentary that there were some songs that he recorded during this album that he felt would have made it a better album, but still, nonetheless, a great album. So that's my review of Long After Dark. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Give the album a 10 out of 10. It is one of my most favourite Tom Petty albums of all time. It wasn't an album I quite liked, but then over the years kind of didn't really get back to it. Then after Tom passed, it was an album I kind of played a lot, and it was one I really grew to really like and appreciate. So yeah, it was definitely an album that took its time. It eventually got to me eventually, and I often watch. I've seen like a lot of album rankings on Tom Petty's albums, and they usually put this one either at the bottom or somewhere in the middle. But I think it's definitely amongst my top favourite Tom Petty albums. And if you like the album as well, then leave a comment below, or if you don't like the album, then you can still leave a comment, but that's okay. I'll take it either way. But anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you again for the next video.